All right, coming up on this episode of Bro, Do You Even Talk Pinball? We've got Kong is released, Dune is released, Portal, Merlin's Arcade revealed. We've got Harry Potter confirmed, and we've got Cuphead not released. All that and more coming right up.
Double super jackpot!
I need a ramp. I need a loop. I want targets I can hit. I need the scoop. I need a double super jackpot in my life. That's right.
Manny of Buffalo Pinball. Whoa, boom shakalaka. What's going on, everybody? It's episode 93 of Bro, Do You Even Talk Pinball? It's Saturday, May 3rd. I'm Kevin Manny. That's Nick Lane. Nick Lane, how are you this morning?
I'm Nick Lane, and I'm good. Thank you for asking, Kevin Manny. I
Thank
appreciate it.
You have to kick off the show right. 93. Yeah, we're real old. Get out the walkers.
Some people do that in 2 months, though, in pinball.
That's right.
It took us 10 years.
10 years. We're, less is more sometimes. You know what I mean? Try to do a weekly show. There's not much to talk about in the world of pinball. We've covered this before. But we do have a lot to cover today. There's a ton of pinball machines to talk about. We got lots to get through, so let's get right into it. Nick, you want to kick us off with the partners?
I thought you'd never ask. All right, let's see. Looking for it on the screen. Oh, you're not.
I didn't send you the right thing. Here you go. Now you can see it.
There we go. I mean, come on, Nick. Nick knows this.
You know these guys.
I don't know why I'm talking third person today, but I started off on that, and here we go. All right, I'm just delaying. Here we go. All right. First of all, shout out to the premier partner, Flippin' Out Pinball, flippinoutpinball.com. The best place to go to buy pinball machines. I mean, Zach Many. Once you go Zach, you never go back. I don't know. What can I say? Like, best service in the industry. He actually has a pretty good podcast, too. I got to hand it to him. I've been listening here and there, but enough about that nonsense. Go to flippinoutpinball.com. They've got it all, and he'll take care of you if you have a problem with your game. Him and Nicole, good people, and Greg, he's got your back if you need an issue and need to work with one of the manufacturers to get a parts or a resolution. All right, other partners we want to give a shout-out to, Pinball Life, pinballlife.com. I've been using them, as I say, since 2011. I think I'd get a Pinball Life box at least once a week these days because I'm just buying a ton of stuff for games at the club. So just absolutely great. And they ship things out super quick. I'm very impressed with Pinball Life. So pinballlife.com. Multimorphic.com, makers of the P3 and the newest game, Portal. Kevin Manny will talk about that later. Then we've got Titan Pinball, titanpinball.com. Use coupon code Buffalo, save 10% for silicone rings and mats and tools and all the other good stuff. And then pinside.com, the preeminent place to go and fight and argue with folks on the internet. And also you can buy and sell machines.
Yeah. Have a good chat. Have a good chat. Go hang out in the owners threads. That's where the good stuff is. They'll teach you how to fix your games and stuff. All right, let's jump right into it with a little news.
Here's the tip. It's the latest pinball news. So hot, it's on fire.
All right, let's kick it off. I guess we're kind of going in reverse order of the reveals, but King Kong, Myth of Terror Island was revealed by Stern Pinball. This is on April 15th, coming to you from Pinball News. So this is the latest game designed by Keith Elwin. You know him from Godzilla and Avengers Infinity Quest and Iron Maiden and all that fun stuff. There's a couple more in there too. A game, so it's got art by Jeremy Packer, Zombietti, but also Kevin O'Connor and Greg Ferreris is like a 3-person tag team on the art. Music and sound design by Jerry Thompson, and software designers Rick Nagel. So kind of a lot of the team that you see on Keith's teams games. Wow, words. Continuing on, they got a successful team. They got a successful thing going. So they're sticking with it.
Kevin, I gotta say we made a mistake. We gotta
what happened?
Stop the press for a minute. We forgot longstanding partner Comet Pinball.
Comment Pinball.
not give a shout out to Comet Pinball.
Oh man.
Ryan, I am deeply, deeply, deeply sorry because I was just thinking about LEDs the other day. I need to get some LEDs for a new game I just got to the club. So, Comet Pinball, folks, sponsor since 2016, preeminent place to go for LEDs for your machine. Show some love for Comet Pinball. Let's get some in the chat. There we go.
Ryan.
All right.
We love
Sorry,
you,
Ryan. We love you.
Amazing. All right, Nick, initial thoughts on King Kong?
So there's the initial thoughts, and then I also got to play it last night because it got
right.
delivered to an LE got delivered to the club. So let's just go with let's talk about the initial impressions and the reveal, Kevin. We can do that, and then at the end I can talk about playing it a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I positive impressions when I saw the release, the release that everybody else saw. You know what's funny, Kev, is that the forum wasn't as happy as I thought they would be with this. They are definitely turning on Zombie Yeti art. I gotta say, I was early on this where I was just like, it's too much Zombie Yeti. Said this years and years and years ago. What's funny is that when I saw this game, I didn't have that impression, just maybe because I'm just totally resigned right now. It's like, of course it's going to be Zombie Yeti. Of course I know what it's going to look like. But I think a lot of the chat was just like, why is it so purple? Why is these colors are off? It's terrible, blah, blah, blah. So I think a lot of Zombie Yeti fatigue is sinking in for a lot of people and creeping up. But and that's no knock on him, but I get it. However, look, I mean, he also did the cabinet art and the playfield art on Godzilla. So if you're going to make Kong, and again, go back in the podcast, I said when Godzilla came out, Sir needs to make Kong because everybody always buys this Godzilla, will buy a Kong, and here we are. They did a good move, good job. I get that you probably want to keep that consistent with the same artist who did Godzilla, at least on the cabinet. So the playfield artistry is different, and I really like the playfield art. So anyways, I was generally positive when I saw this game. It's an Elwyn. You know it's going to be good. You know, how good is it going to be, I think is the question. It's never a question, is it going to be good? It's an Elwyn game. It's just, how good is the game going to be? That's where we're at. I think in person, the game looks obviously better. It always happens this way. I think the colors are always blown out and overly saturated when we see pictures of the game, and in person, they do look better. I'm fine with the art. Again, I really love the LE backglass and the side armor on it because it's the art deco vibe, which is exactly what our club has for our theme. So it just looks really good, just really well done. I don't know, the inside of the artwork on the cabinet's like foil. It looks cool.
Yeah, that is really good.
We haven't talked about the layout. I mean, you've got the toy. I guess Elwyn originally wanted it to throw the balls on the playfield at the player, whatever. The King Kong toy is cool, but he doesn't really do much interaction. Shots look cool. I guess I'll talk about gameplay later. But yeah, overall positive reaction to this game. I didn't think to myself, I need to buy it. I did tell Martha she should buy it because it's fun spending other people's money. But
yeah, it is.
All right, go ahead, Kev. What do you think?
Yeah, so I really, artwork wise, I really like that they had the callback to so there was a Data East King Kong game that they made like 10 of, but never actually put them into production. And this kind of like central area right above the flippers is straight up, inspired by that. And it's the same artist, so it's not like they're like ripping themselves off or whatever. It's the same artist finally getting to take this design concept and put it into a game that's going to go into full production, which is awesome. I thought the initial stream they did was really, I mean, it had technical issues at the beginning. There was like all this audio doubling, so it was kind of a hot mess at the start, but once they finally got it dialed in, the game looked super fun. And I think the shots all looked really good and flowy. Of course, they had like top level players playing too, so you have to keep that in mind when you're watching that video. That these are like some of the best players in the world playing the game. But it's got cool mechanical action. Like I like that the balls stage in the train and then Kong like smashes the train and the balls come out, stuff like that. And it's got some interesting in-lane out-lane stuff on the left. It's hard. There's a lot happening in the upper left area so it's kind of hard to, without having actually played it, understand how it all fits together, but it looks super flowy. And then it's got the Kong Dong gong thing on the right, which
Did
is
you
pretty
call
cool.
it dong?
Kong Dong, yeah, the Kong Gong goes dong.
Okay.
That's right.
Hey.
I'm going
Okay.
there. One thing that I think was interesting is if you look at they posted like either a video or some still shots of the production of this game, and if you look at the Kong mech, he's actually servo driven, which I know there's been massive revolts against using servos in pinball machines, and manufacturers shouldn't keep using them, even though there's a bunch in Evil Dead and there's some in King Kong. Curious to see if they hold up or if it gets the backlash that we've seen in the past for stuff like that. But I really like the only way to articulate him the way he is would be to use servos to make him dance around and stuff like that. So hopefully they hold up. I think the only other thing that's coming to mind is like the theme itself. So it's based on the book, the original book of King Kong. So it's not based on one of the movies or any of the other properties, the video games or anything like that we've seen over the years. It's their own kind of take and story in the King Kong universe, which I think is fine. Like the if you were looking for, I don't know, old school King Kong movie footage, that's not going to be in here. It's all 3D animated, and I know that was one thing that folks had a lot of pushback on initially. When you see the videos and the gameplay videos, that's one of the things you react on is the art and the animation style, and a lot of people didn't like that animation style. I thought it was okay. Like,
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'd rather have that than old footage of the movies. Like, you can go watch a fucking movie if you want to watch it.
Right, exactly. So I think think of it like Jurassic Park, where they took the concept, they put you in the world of Jurassic Park, but then they add in their own animations and stuff, and I think they did a good job with that. And this one looks pretty good too. And I like that King Kong can like smack on the glass too. That's pretty cool. So why don't you give some thoughts as to you've played it?
So I played despite being at the club for like almost 6 hours yesterday, maybe 5. I only played the game 5 times. So I was doing a bunch of shit there. But yeah, what can I say about the game? Let's talk about gameplay, right? Yes, their shots are in the back, characteristically like Keith Elwin's games. There's still maybe stuff a little closer to the flippers that could potentially trip you up. I found that the gong is a dangerous shot, which I like because it kicks back at you. What you want to do with that is definitely backhand it rather than shoot it from the left flipper. The left flipper, I definitely drained a number of times shooting it there before I learned to stop touching the hot stove, and then just backhanding from the right flipper, and that was way more controllable. So it was cool. I like the shot. By the way, this game looks beautiful in person. Looks stacked with stuff. The Alien Premium, I'm sure people will be very happy with. And you got the sweepable drop targets. They were pretty cool. That little area over there with the mini flipper, it almost felt like a mini playfield, but not an upper playfield. So I like that. It didn't seem like there was a ton of shots at first playing the game. That was a thought that ran through my head, but I don't think that that's necessarily true. It's just kind of a feeling that I had. Obviously, the center ramp is very easy to hit. That's the one that you lock it. The speed is I think medium to fast. I would think medium fast is probably an accurate way to describe it. It's not blazing, just because the shots are further to the back. One thing I really liked about this game, though, in comparison to the last few Keith games, is that the game moves along quicker, right? Like it doesn't have these up posts which are holding it and then making you watch a backlog of videos, which will drive me nuts. Like it is sped up, which is really good. So moving in the right direction. I'm curious as to once muscle memory gets kicked in, I know where the shots are. The difficulty of the game, if it is a baby game or not a baby game, my first reaction is it's not a baby game, but only time will tell. There's a center post. I got tripped up by that where it didn't help me, and it also did help me at times, which is interesting. I like the little log thing where you can push the button and it will help you trap the ball and keep the ball in play for the mini flipper. multi-ball sequence when you start Kong and he does his little shimmy and he hits the train car. Again, that's quicker than the slower Godzilla building thing. So these are all kind of concerns that I've had in past Keith games where his games are just really, it's slowed down artificially. This game is sped up more, so it's a move in the right direction. As I think about moving kind of gameplay along, I do think that I personally prefer games where you cannot select modes. I think, again, that just slows down the game. I like where you kind of select the mode by either pop bumper hits or switch hits or maybe even pre-selecting the flipper and then trying to hit the shot. I think, again, that's a way to speed up the game. So that's I think the game slows down there a little bit, but nothing egregious. All in all, I wanted to keep playing this game, right? Like, I had a good impression. I had a way better impression playing this than when I played Godzilla. It took me a long time to come around to that game. I'm still kind of not around to that game. I really fell in love with Jaws, as you guys know, and I ended up selling it less than a year later. But yeah, Kong is just a very good impression. I think people will be happy. I can't really speak to the code or balancing because, again, in those 5 games, I kind of just feel out the geometry of the game and how it goes. I didn't have the game too loud, even though I have no excuse not to have it loud there. Some of the call-outs were a little cheesy. I heard one, like, when it's waiting for the next player to step up, it's like, some like female voice is like, put down your phone and play. It's like, that's stupid. Like, how is that how is that, like, I get it as a joke, but how is that atmospheric towards a game in the 1930s? It's stupid, right? Like, I get it as somebody says it in a meeting, we should do that, and everybody laughs, oh, that's funny, that's cute, and you hear it, but again, it doesn't work, I don't think.
Also, like, don't they want people to pick up their phones and use the Insider Connect?
Well, there's that too. You know, it's, again, I think they're trying to be funny. Like, to put the shoes back on was a specific Carl call out, but it doesn't. I think you got to nail the theme and hit the theme. It doesn't do that. I was playing with Matt, and he pointed out at one time, he's like, "Oh, I really like the lightning. I think there's like a lightning strike, maybe sound effect, and the lights kind of flicker and flash, and that was cool." I didn't notice until he pointed it out, but then when I was playing it, and he pointed it out, I was like, "Yeah, it's a nice presentation." I do wish more games had the expression lighting in it. I really think it adds to the game. But overall, definitely a positive impression. I'll go back this weekend and play more. I'm going to go back today and play. Maybe I'll take Kevin to the club tomorrow. We'll play some. So I think that's all there is to say at this point.
Yeah. Do you feel like this is going to be a long playing game? I know you talked about like some of the things that like, but in general, do you feel like there's going to be more Godzilla? Or I know his games tend to be like longer playing because I think people like that.
I think that this will not be as long playing as Godzilla is my initial 5-game reaction. I definitely seem to have drained more on that. It's hard for me to say because I'm so used to Godzilla and where the shots are and how it plays, but I think that there are some shots that are a little bit, some of the geometry is closer or like at least like midfield.
Yeah.
Where if you hit it and you miss it, you have less time to react and it could be dangerous, right? And like that's how pinball should be. There should be some shots that like if you miss the shot, you're probably going to drain. You know, you take Godzilla and it's so forgiving where you miss the shot, like you can pretty much save it most of the time. And that's the problem with that game. So this, I do believe, has, I can't articulate which ones exactly, but I did get the feeling in those 5 games that, yes, if you miss certain shots in the game, you will drain. So
nice.
I think it'll be less. Godzilla is notoriously the worst game in terms of length. I mean, even at Pinbrew, with like the best players there, and like that game just set up pretty damn difficult. People were playing for like an hour on it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Can we all agree not to put Godzilla in tournaments? Like, let's just not. Nobody wants to do that.
I think you got a bad game if you can't put a game in a tournament, even when you try to neuter it. That's really tough. Although they did it, like, I don't get on a tangent here. Although they neutered Led Zeppelin, which can be a very long game, they neutered it so much that it was destroying people. So
okay, make it even harder, I guess. All right, so that's King Kong. More to come on that. Looking forward to trying it out. Let's jump to the second game from Barrels of Fun. It's Dune, based on the movies with Timothée Chalamet and crew. So this was revealed. The reveal of this was interesting. I definitely got vibes that they were trying to get ahead of King Kong to try to like capture any dollars that may be available before people sunk their money into King Kong, because the reveal felt rushed. Their website was all messed up. There's like images on top of images and all this stuff. But so if you remember, Barrels of Fun came out early last year or the year before, with Labyrinth, based on the '80s Jim Henson movie, kind of out of nowhere, raring to go with a nostalgic theme. Licensed, they had games in the boxes ready to go, and then it's taken them. I think they're still building Labyrinth, so it's been a long ramp up to get through all. They were planning on doing 1,000 of those, and I don't think they've sold out of all those, but they sold a good chunk of them. But now they're moving on to the second theme. It's Dune. I don't know, the theme is kind of a whatever for me. I never watched the movies in the 80s. I never read the books. I watched the first Dune of the new movies and like half of the second one, and then we stopped like halfway through. I don't remember why, and we've never finished it. So it's not a theme that is like, oh my God, take my money for me. But I get that it kind of hits in a few ways, in that if you're a fan of the 80s movies, it's got like that nostalgia. If you're a fan of the book, obviously it pulls in those things. And the new movies are a huge success in the box office. So, and it's a modern license in that way too, which is kind of cool. But
I would say, I think this has nothing to do with the '80s movie. The '80s movie is damn near unwatchable. This movie is strictly based on the new movies.
Yeah, but if I'm just thinking, if you're of that generation, and you're like, oh, I love that movie for whatever reason, you're like, oh, at least this is a Dune licensed pinball machine. But absolutely, if you're not watching this, it's absolutely based on the new modern movies for sure. I don't know. Have you gotten to watch any gameplay footage of this? Any initial thoughts on Dune overall?
I tried to watch a little bit, and my ADD kicked in, and then I just kind of like, you couldn't finish the second movie. I couldn't finish the video of what was going on in it. I just really need to play a game, to be honest. So that's no knock on Dune. I really like the apron artwork there, that style. That looks really good. I lukewarm when it comes to Barrels of Fun, because their first game, Labyrinth, did absolutely nothing for me in terms of the theme. There's something weird on the lighting on that game, and the way the playfield looks and the inserts. I don't like it. And the shots just, I don't know. It just cannot grab a hold of me. So hopefully this game is a little bit different and better. And again, Kevin, I'm with you. I've seen the '80s movie. It's very forgettable. I've seen the new Dune movie, and it's okay. I've got the second one. I'll watch it eventually, but it's not a theme that I get super excited for. But it's a hell of a lot better than Avatar. But that's not saying much. And then it's got a fleshlight in it. I guess that comes up in the back. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like super slow. Man, it's like, okay, that'll be fun like the first 2 times you do it, and then after that, I hope you can cancel out of it or make it go faster, because, man, to your point of, this is like the Godzilla building like at half speed, it felt like.
Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, people don't want these slow things. You got to have something quicker. Like, after you see it, even if seeing it the first time, it's not that impressive. I'm not talking about Godzilla. I'm talking about the worm coming up, but man, that would drive me nuts over time.
Yeah. It's so the teaser there you can kind of see it.
Oh,
look how
Jesus,
slow that was coming
up. I understand that it's slow and dramatic in the movie, but like, I don't know, either have a different toy or figure something else out, because again, we haven't played it, so don't crucify us if it's like, no, it's not bad in person, but it doesn't, I don't know. The gut reaction here is it's not good.
Nice.
Thank you, Donnie.
we appreciate it.
I was wondering who was going to be the first.
Donnie, I saw you on Tuesday at the town ballroom, but I missed saying hi. But hello. Yeah. So a couple things. So I did watch some of the gameplay video on this, and it's it's like the people who are playing it felt like they were not making a ton of shots. It looks very crammed, this playfield. I was getting kind of Houdini vibes from the gameplay footage that I was watching. And also, it's got the 007 thing going on, where it's like the assets are not approved by the licensor. So showing video and clips and all this stuff that is not even approved and shipping games with unapproved
What?
code. Like, yeah, if you look at the gameplay footage, there's
Ooh.
license. It's like a watermark over the video. It says, pending approval from licensor on it.
That's
So,
not good. That's not good.
yeah. So who knows, like, if this is anywhere near complete, or if it does end up, getting completed, like what's going to end up being in there? How can you buy a $11,000 pinball machine with assets in it that haven't even been approved yet?
Dude, I didn't know that. I think it's a mistake rushing it to try to get a couple orders before Kong and all these other games. Like, the problem with all these games come out at the same time, you can't help but like really go head to head and fight it out unless you think you've got a better game than Kong, right? And like, it's Stern, like, come on, like, you almost want to release it when people are starving for a new game and they've gotten bored of the last game that came out 3 months ago, because there are people who that happens to them. Release it in an off time in the summer. Get everything ready to go. Have a complete code and have people blown away. I what do I know? I don't run a pinball company. I don't see the figures and the money. I'd hope that people know a lot more than me. But Monday morning quarterbacking, it does seem like a mistake when everything comes out at the same time. And then most people have money for one game. They have money for one game, and they're going to buy the best one, and they're going to buy the one that has the best theme, too. So, I don't know. It's a little rough. And if the game comes out and there's, what you're telling me is true, Kevin, and it's missing things in watermarks, like, you're going to say, like, I think I'll wait, right? I'm going to buy Kong or something else, and I'll wait and see how this is.
Yeah, I don't understand the rush. Like, it's baffling to me that all of these companies consistently all rush to reveal at the same shows. So the like, for this podcast, for example, like, we're talking about 4 new releases where we could be talking about just yours for most of it. You know what I mean? It's like, it just gets lost and mixed up in everything else. So I don't know. It's baffling. There's a reason why we only do a podcast once a month, because there's not that much to talk about normally in a year of pinball. So, you don't have to, all battle it out at the same time. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. I would, this would be a wait and see. I would definitely play this game before, jumping into anything, because, there's so much unfinished still, so much unapproved. You don't know what the heck is going to actually be in there at the end. So
also, I think $11,600 is just too much. It just is too much for this game, which is not a Jersey Jack, not a Stern. I think they still have a ways to go. No offense to them, and maybe they're there. I haven't played it yet, so forgive me. But a $9,600 Stern Premium, you want $2,000 more than that? Like, that's rough. That's rough.
They were trying to make this, in the lead up to the reveal, they were trying to, like, I don't know, make the pill easier to swallow with the price, because they're like, oh, this is the best value in pinball. It's going to have, our infinity glass, and it's going to have, this edge lighting that goes into the glass, and a shaker motor, and blah, blah, blah. And what's funny is that they're like, we want people to have the complete experience when they play this, but then they're also coming out with a full line of accessories that you can buy too. So you can't have it both ways. It's like, either you're giving people everything in the machine, or you're letting them kind of do it a la carte and pick and choose.
I mean, it does look pretty loaded. That screen in the back's cool. It's got stuff. I'm not saying that there's not $11,600 there. I'm not saying that, right? Like, I'm just saying it's a tough sell when there's this other competition out there. That is really the thing. So again, the way I think you would do that is just, you have it when it's just a release, and you're months away from any other release. And you can just be the center stage, right? Like, that is it. That's when you can pull that off. We'll see. I would love to talk to somebody who knows about this stuff confidentially and just tell me how wrong I am, and that's fine. I'll correct it on the podcast without outing anybody. I just I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason why. I mean, maybe it's worth to these companies to launch at these shows, because that's where the biggest gathering of pinball players happen, and they want people to get their hands on the game, which is a fair assessment. But it's also like, there's shows happening all year too. You could kind of pick and choose a different show.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Dune. Let's move on to game number 3, Portal. This is one I had the luxury of going and getting a whole lot of time on as I did the reveal stream for our friends down at Multimorphic. This is their newest game, Portal, based on the game from late 2000s. These Valve/Steam game Portal came as part of the Orange Box and was originally like an add-on sort of game, but then kind of ended up stealing the show out of the Orange Box package and ended up spawning a sequel and a whole bunch of like spin-off little licensed games and things like that. And it's funny because players have been like notoriously like waiting for Portal 3 or Half-Life 3, and I was like, this is kind of like your Portal 3 because it's an all new story in the Portal world where you're in the test chambers and all that. So it's not just revisiting Portal 1 or Portal 2 and taking you through that story. It's giving you your own Portal experience, which is kind of cool, and expanding on the Portal universe with new characters. So you've got Reggie, the identity core, in there, so he's new. You have call-outs from Ellen McLean, who is the original voice of GLaDOS, which is awesome. It's got the Jonathan Colton songs, Watch You Gone and Still Alive, all the things you would kind of want if you're a fan of Portal. That's all in here. And these guys, you can tell these guys really get it, because they're really, if you're a fan of the game, you're gonna recognize that these folks are fans of the game too, and they're doing it justice. So yeah, the creative directors are Steven Silver, Michael Ocean, Ian Harrower. Ian, from Blood Bank Billiards and Birdwatcher. This is his first like official game as part of the Multimorphic team, which is awesome to see. Congrats, Ian. Art is by Brad Albright. This is his first commercial pinball art package, so congrats to Brad on that. I was talking to him a little bit. He was at the reveal, and they were talking about the way the game ended up looking and how this, in the Portal world, everything is white basically, and in pinball you want colorful, bright things to draw you into the game, right? So there was kind of this back and forth with Valve, and like, Brad was pushing to make it more colorful, and they're like, well, that's not how the world looks. So that's how it kind of ended up looking the way it does. And I think he does a really good job of making it feel bright and colorful, but also still feeling like Portal, especially if you look at the playfield itself. It's like packed with art, feels like Portal. It's got more of a Portal 2 vibe, because in Portal 2 there was more of like the overgrown, mossy kind of like destructed world look, and that's kind of how it looks, which I think was the right way to go, because Portal 1 was super clean and I don't think would have been as visually interesting on a pinball machine. So that's really cool. Callouts by Mark Silk. You know him from TMNT and a couple other games. I can't remember what other games. Did he do Mando? I'm trying to remember the other games he's done. But and Ellen McLean, they got callouts from GLaDOS. Scott Denise's on sound again, which is awesome. He's got cool like amped up versions of original pinball's Portal sound. What's up?
Mando for what?
For Mark Silk. Did he do any of the voices in that?
No, I don't think so.
I'm trying to remember, because he did TMNT.
He did Turtles.
Yeah. I thought he was in another one too, but I don't know. I can't remember. And then you got TJ Weaver and Terry Jones on mechanic, Rory Sanuda as a technical artist. So if you watch the original trailer of this, one of the big features is the extended part of this. Let me see if I can find some pictures here, where it brings. Yeah, here you go. So this is a good playfield shot. So a lot of feedback from players over the years for the P3 platform has been, yeah, it's cool, but all the shots are far in the back, and there are lots of great games with shots in the back, like Jaws and Godzilla and things like that. But I understand the appeal of having things closer, because like Nick was talking about earlier, if you have stuff closer to the to the flippers, things get more dangerous. There's you have to be more careful in the shots you select. Games are gonna play a little different, things like that. So they took that into mind, and they brought in the extended add-on where you can plop this. It's like a one-piece thing that sits down on the lower part of the playfield, connects with two connectors, and you've got a lift ramp on the right a spinner lane on the left, a kickback on the far right on the upper side of the playfield. There's stand-up targets all over the place, and there's also the faith plate wall. So that's not the faith plate's in the back. This is you shoot the wall across the light bridge, the hard light bridge. So there's actually a hidden upper. It's sort of a flipper, but it's like the wall on the left. It's kind of hard to describe. You hit that and it shoots it across the hard light bridge. If you've played the Portal games, you know what that is. That shows on the screen underneath, and you can shoot it across to the right in lane. And that's a feature of some of the modes and things like that. So yeah, some really cool mechanical action. I like the double level thing happening. I like that the ramp on the right lifts and lowers, so that gives you different geometry there over the course of your gameplay. And yeah, kudos to them for making it happen and bringing the action down closer to the flippers. Even in the back though, like there's a ton of cool stuff. You've got the faith plate, the thing that flips it up into the back wall. That's that there. You've got a captive ball that kicks it through the portals. All the ramps lift, so a lot of diverters, different ways you can send the ball. It's got the faith plate lock with the companion cube in the back, upper playfield in the upper left with another companion cube that you can bash, and it's got the momentum jump, so the more times you go around that little loop up there before you hit it into where the companion cube goes, the faster the ball comes flying out the other side. So they've brought a lot of Portal mechanics into this game through the features and also through the software. So in the software, there's like I forget what they call it, the main room where you're just kind of like hanging out. And in there is like kind of a Attack from Mars style rule set where there's like all these hurry ups. You can try to get all the hurry ups going and stack them up and get a huge jackpot. So that's cool. But then you can also go into the different testing chambers where it brings in like the video game style feel of solving puzzles and getting through the different rooms. So it's a good mix of the puzzly aspects of the Portal theme, which you would want, and also like some more traditional classic gameplay features. I feel like that pretty much covered it. I know Nick, you got a couple shots in on this at Pinbrew. Any initial thoughts on Portal?
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be their best game, I'd have to imagine. It's just amazing what they managed to pack in there and the level of creativity. There's things that as you're going over, Kev, I didn't know or notice after playing a few games. It's, to me, like P3 is kind of a cerebral platform in general, and this is like the height of like a cerebral pinball game, and it matches the theme of Portal very well as you can translate that game into pinball. I've had very limited experience with Portal, but I understand enough about it to make that statement. Yeah, just very impressive. I mean, P3 owners rejoice. People like Portal rejoice. Personally, I just like the P3 just doesn't grab me emotionally the way it's grabbed everybody in my friend group. But I'm glad you guys get it and all have one, so I can just leech off you guys and play it.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that I said at the end of the stream. It's like, if you want innovation and creativity in pinball, these guys are doing it the best, in my opinion. They're really kind of taking things to the next level, and they really take the theme and integrate it into everything they're doing. So this was a theme like years ago that I was like, you guys should do this. And when they announced that they were finally doing it, I was like, thank God, this is like the perfect theme for this platform. I feel like with the infinity trough in the back, they can make the balls, disappear over here, reappear over there, fly all over the place. So this is really, really awesome. And the humor, and there's so much more to come too. So if you watch the gameplay stream, and I'll just play a little bit of that here while we talk. So I went down to Round Rock and played it with the crew. There's a ton more call outs coming. There's more test chamber modes. Tons more coming. So I think when this starts shipping this summer, you're gonna have a lot to enjoy on top of everything that's already in there and really awesome. Okay, I think that's good for Portal, and we say the best for last of the new releases, y'all. It's Merlin's Arcade. Okay, original. Everybody who wants an original theme, here you go. everybody who's clamoring, here's another opportunity. If it wasn't ramping around or whatever was the game we did last time, Merlin's Arcade. This is the one. Nope, RLM. When are they going to start making original theme games again? They're doing it. Get yourself a Merlin's Arcade from Turner Pinball, makers of Ninja Eclipse, another original theme game you could have bought. So this is another game pulled from the ashes of Deep Root Pinball. And man. So it's by John Norris, who, of Bad Girls fame. And it's got
Oh shit! You had me at Bad Girls.
Now Nick Lane is interested.
Retheme this to Bad Girls 2. Put a bunch of whores on there, and you've got my interest.
Yeah. So it's basically 8-Ball Deluxe modified again because he likes to do that. So not flipped the way Bad Girls is, but more traditional 8-Ball Deluxe. Yeah, but it's like you're in an arcade, a medieval arcade or something. I don't know. Seems fine. This is another one where it feels like they're pushing the limits of pricing, though.
How much?
I forget. Let me see. You give your initial thoughts, and I'll look for the price.
I don't have. This is the problem, is Kev. I see this, and I'm just like, I'm never gonna buy it. I don't know if I'll ever play it. But let's go. I just want to say one thing about Portal. I think our friend Dave Sousa is working it out, so we're gonna do like a Portal launch party at the club at some point. So there you go.
Nice.
Everybody who wants to play that game. Don't worry about. No one cares about the price. Nobody on this.
Oh yeah,
this
$89.95. So $9,000.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is the new reality. Although pinball machine prices are plummeting. Like,
that's right.
Oh my god, like absolutely plummeting.
You get yourself. Well, isn't that about what you paid for your Wick LE?
Yes.
Yes. So.
Yes.
Spoiler
I paid $9
alert.
for a Wick LE.
Yeah. So.
And that might be too much. Like 3 months later, like
Yeah.
I can see that thing plummeting to $8,000. Like I'm like, oh my god, I overpaid at $9,000 for Wick LE.
Everyone wants the original theme. Here's another one you won't buy. Thank you, Wildcat.
It looks cool, but again, look, what do they want to? Are they doing like a limited of 100 kind of deal?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Our time is of the essence. Let's move on. Let's
cares?
move on. Good luck to them. Who cares?
There's another game. Maybe you'll play it someday.
Sorry,
Probably
Turner.
not.
Sorry, Turner. We're a little harsh. I know, but there's only so much time and money and space. That's the problem.
Yeah, and at least they're building games and not taking people's pre-order money and running. So I'll give them credit for that. It's a low bar, but there is something. All right. Speaking of more upcoming games announced but not revealed yet, Harry Potter from Jersey Jack Pinball. Pretty stoked about this one. I think they were going to have a hit on their hands. I feel like JJP, the last few games they haven't like had knock it out of the park themes, and this is one that tons of people have been clamoring for. I personally am not a huge Harry Potter fan, but as soon as it was announced, my wife and son were both like, when are we getting it? So, and there's a lot of people out there with very similar mindsets. I'm of the age where this was like, I was a little too old for the books when they were coming out, and then I never got into the movies. We actually went to Shays Buffalo a couple weeks ago, and they did a in-person performance of, I think it was the second movie, and they had the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra play with it, which was cool, really cool. So they played the soundtrack live. That was really cool, and the movie was pretty good. And like, I can see why people get into this. But I think this will be a killer theme for them. What's funny was, so this all happened after our last podcast. I was on, I think was it a TPF they did this? Yeah, it must have been. So it was Mark Seiden at his panel talking about Avatar and the making of Avatar, and Jack Guarnieri was there with him. And I was just, I was sitting on my couch. I had it on the TV because I like to watch the seminars, and they were taking comments from chat and then questions from chat. And somebody in chat was like, "Hey Jack, what's the next game?" Because everybody asks that and nobody ever answers it, right? But Jack's just like, "Yeah, everybody knows it's Harry Potter. Save your money and don't buy anything until you see this game." Oop, I lost Nick's audio.
Sorry, no fucks given.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I was like, wait a minute, there's like 20 people in this chat. Nobody's watching this. The people in the room at TPF obviously know about that. this, but I should like clip this and put it on our social media channels. So it's like he just said what the next game is, and yeah, it kind of blew up from there, which was cool. But yeah, so kind of a unexpected movie. I feel like you could see Mark going, I can't believe he just said that without saying it. We're like, is he really like announcing the next game? But yeah, it's like, okay, good. You got a good license in your pocket. You know, people are this is gonna be a like take my money kind of theme. We always talk about licensing and themes and certain themes for people being like, yes, I'm buying it no matter what. I feel like this is gonna be that sort of theme. So yeah, we're all just kind of hanging out, waiting to see what comes next. As far as the reveal and what the game holds. They did announce the pricing levels. So there's going to be 3 different versions of it. So Jack was actually, I think this was on the Pinball News, Pinball Magazine podcast last month, where he actually announced that the Arcade Edition, Wizard Edition, and Collector's Edition, they're all going to have the same playfield features. So there's not going to be like mechs on one that aren't on the other, that sort of thing. It's all going to be cosmetic things that differentiate the 3 levels. Probably like, think like toppers and Invisiglass and shaker motors and extra playfield sculpts and things like that. So the Arcade Edition is $10,000, $9,999. He did say under 10 grand, and they just barely did that. Wizard Edition is going to be 12, which is in line with their standard, their traditional LEs, and then the Collector's Edition is 15. So no real change price wise on the Wizard and Collector's Editions, but they're also bringing back the lower end, kind of what used to be the standard edition. Because Jack on the podcast said he wants as many people to be able to buy this as possible. They want to get into arcades and things like that, and they know if they can hit that lower price point, then that's going to make that more viable for people. So yeah, Nick, any thoughts on Harry Potter? We don't really have much to go on at this point, but
it's interesting that they kept the same price point and 0 interest in this game. I don't like any movies or TV shows with kids are the main character. Even though when I was a kid, I was born in 1980, and even like when I was a kid, I didn't like Goonies. I just don't like kids in movies. I don't want to watch them.
Nick Lane? What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with everybody else? Why do you want to see kids? Why do you guys like Stranger Things? A bunch of kids, like, weird.
It's got that nostalgia vibes, bro.
Yeah, they know how to tweak like something in everybody's brain, right?
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, all right, there's Harry Potter. Let's talk Pinbrew. You want to give a little shout out to Pinbrew?
Little shout out, very, very quick. Good job, Keith, and everybody who's involved in making that show a success. Had another great year. Good time. Got to play a lot of the new games. Got to play Avatar. Didn't like it. Got to play Evil Dead. We'll talk about that. Ended up unexpectedly buying a John Wick LE. So that was cool. And then just a bunch of nice people came up and, recognized me from Buffalo Pinball. I'm sure Kevin had the same experience, but shout out to Nolan and his mom, Wes and Kathy, James, Matt from Kinet Assist, Mark from, I think, Pinball Planet. And then there's an unnamed hero that every year gives me drink tickets. So thank you so much.
There you go. Winning. Yeah, thanks, Keith. It was a good time, as always. Enjoyed the show. Always a great place to go and play the newest, latest games without a whole bunch of lines, which is a plus. And we were able to kind of help get Portal there. Justin from Wise Trailer, the distributor in the U.S. for Multimorphic, was like, hey, I want to get Portal there, but my daughter has a bunch of track meets that weekend. Can anybody from the community help out? And Dave and I and a few others kind of pitched in to just, answer questions, keep tabs on the game throughout the weekend. And it really didn't do anything. There was a stuck ball or two that I had to free, but the game ran like a champ. And yeah, people were pretty stoked that I talked to some viewers who, appreciate the show. And, we just chatted a bunch and hung out and had a good time. So, yeah. So, oh yeah, there's a little chatter in the chat about Kyle Boss's homebrew. I don't know if Kyle's here. He's the creator of Harry Potter, and yeah, the movie studio, I guess, reached out to him and gave him a cease and desist on his game. So, which is really dumb, because if you're making a one-off game, like, who cares? If you're trying to sell it, I get that, but
how can they do that if you're just making a game you don't intend to sell and it's for your personal use?
who knows? I'm not a lawyer. The only thing I can think is like they think there's going to be some confusion with since they're actually making a pinball machine. But I don't know. I don't know.
All right, Cobb Boss,
Lawyer-
the bad girls too. No one's gonna come after you. I promise you.
It could be he's got like that castle in there. It could be like the castle where all the bad girls live. I like.
Yeah, it's their brothel.
We could retheme it.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Or
went
it's
after
like
his.
or it's like an
YouTube videos.
influencer house, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. RLM says they went after his YouTube videos, so he can make
Bunch
it.
of
He
dicks.
just can't talk about it.
Okay,
Good
Great.
times.
that's what people like to do. Make something that they can't show anybody.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's talk Evil Dead. So we got a chance to play some Evil Dead. We haven't really talked about this game much, so let's give some. Wait for it. First impressions, not a review. Not a review, everybody. We're just gonna give our initial thoughts on Evil Dead. Why don't you kick this off? And hi, Martha.
Yeah,
Look at
there's
Martha creeping out.
Creeping. Yeah, she's creeping. Look at disappearing behind the curtain. Nothing to see here.
She's creeping out to do some gardening or something.
Yeah, so all right. I played Evil Dead, and it's a very visually impressive game that's got a lot of mechs in there and what do you call like molded artwork pieces, right? Like very they do such a good job, especially this game, in terms of things that they've crammed and put in the game. Like it just looks great. I played a few games on it, and it was like, okay, like most spooky games, it just doesn't grab me. The gameplay never grabs me. They look great. They kind of draw me in. I play it, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And to be honest, Kevin, I forgot to put this game in the show notes because I completely forgot about this game. Completely forgot about it. So another stunning review from Nick on a spooky game.
I was lucky enough to get some one-on-one time with this at James's place. So when I played it over there, I blew it up and had a great time. I don't know if it's just because I had some good games on it, but yeah, it seemed really fun. There's a lot of like multi-ball stacking. I feel like the mini playfield underneath the lower playfield is actually pretty fun. You know, a lot of times lower playfields are kind of boring and whatever, but that one's pretty fun. It's got a lot of interesting mechs. I guess it's got like the pop-up troll like things from Medieval Madness or other games like that where we have things popping up out of the playfield. Hobbit is another one. It's got the little trapdoor thing that can grab the ball. The hand over on the left. Lots of cool, interesting mechanical stuff, like you were saying. Even the little flipper that is in the slingshot on the right is kind of cool. Although, it's on a second button. Oh my god, a flipper on a second button. But I like that you can, if you know the ball's going there, you can hold it out and stop the ball and then take a shot. Kind of cool, clever thing there. The Evil Dead theme is, I'm not a horror movie guy, and I've talked about that on the show in the past. So this is not a theme where I was like take my money or anything. I actually borrowed James's copy of Evil Dead 2 and watched it for the first time because I had never seen the movies. So, and it was still like, okay, yeah, I'm still not a horror movie fan. He kind of recommended the second one because apparently the second one is the same or similar story to the first one, but it has more humor in it. So I was like, maybe that'll appeal more to me, and it was still kind of whatever. But
Yeah, it's too bad, Kev, because have you not seen Army of Darkness?
No.
Which is not based on that. Like, I can care less about the first Evil Dead movies. You should watch Army of Darkness, but you should watch Ash versus the Evil Dead, which is like comedy.
Okay.
Right? Like, it embraces like the comedic, ridiculous side. It's Ash versus the Evil Dead is so good, so
Okay.
good. It has like it has just like the character and story concepts, but actual like a lot of humor is thrown into it.
I do like stuff like Walking Dead and The Last of Us, like those like survival kind of situations where it's just like gruesome murder stuff. Like that doesn't do it for me,
Well, Bruce Campbell's the man after watching like Army of Darkness and Ash vs. Evil Dead. That's the way to go.
Nice, yeah. And so one of the things like it's another game with a bunch of servos in it and 3D printed stuff. So like if you look at this bench, there's it's the 3D printed thing, and there's servos down by the shooter lane for the little like shotgun shooter thing, and the tape deck the reel tape thing in the apron, which is not a mechanic that is, on the playfield. It's just a decorative thing, but still, it's like, questionable decisions when it comes to things like that. They did go out and sell out all of these allegedly. Somebody was in chat was asking if they had sold out. They were making 800-ish of these, and they did sell out. So that's smart. They scaled it back from the numbers they were shooting for with Scooby-Doo and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all that, which I think will help, drive sales in the future, helps keep the resale value up on these games, which will encourage people to keep buying them. But one of the things that was super obvious was that, they got Bruce Campbell callouts, and they're proud of that, and good for them, but dude, this game would not shut up. It would he was talking so much, he was like talking over the top of himself. I was like, okay, can you just scale that back a little bit?
Yeah.
Chill out on the callouts. We like him. Everybody wants to hear them, especially if they're fans of the movies, but less is more sometimes.
And they were repetitious, like in quick succession, which is it's not good. Not good.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, like I thought the game was fun to shoot. Apparently there's still a lot to come in the rules, which is kind of like Spooky's MO. I feel like they put out a game and then they promise a bunch of stuff, and sometimes they finish it and sometimes they don't. So hopefully, since this game sold out, they'll put the time and attention into it that it deserves. But then also, like, they've sold all of them, so what is their motivation to make it even better? Maybe they'll just move on to their next game. They haven't exactly instilled a bunch of confidence in buyers as far as completing code.
My God, that's like every company now. It's just terrible. We should have a show just about the lack of code epidemic out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk about John Wick later. I'm sure we'll get into that too.
Every Stern game, Jaws has been out for more than a year, still not at 1.0, still doesn't have. I don't believe the wizard mode. Last code update was November. Every game, every company. We're Godfather up to 2 years now. Fucking bullshit. Finish your games, guys.
Finish your games. So yeah, that's first impressions on Evil Dead, not a review. Fun game. Finish it, and make sure it works. Okay, thank you. That's all we ask. Nick, I don't know if have you dug into your pin glass yet? You got a sheet of pin glass, right?
I do. I'm grateful for the pin glass. It's gonna go on my Wick LE. However, I've had the glass, as with most new games, off a lot to tweak it, dial it in, fix problems, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna put it on once I get the game to where I think it needs to be, so I don't have to take it off every 2 seconds. With that said, bathroom break number 1.
All right, here you go. I'm going to talk about pin glass, and Nick's going to go to the bathroom. Yes, shout out to Multimorphic does finish their games. Good call, Snail Man. Especially with Princess Bride shipping at 1.0. I always make this point. I like to give you guys kudos because you go the extra mile shipping complete games. And JJP did put 1.0 code out for Avatar, so there are some who are finishing them off. But it's a trend that not every manufacturer is finishing their games. Cool. So pin glass. Let me show you some pin glass. So this is from our friends at Multimorphic. They saw the fact that there was all these companies making anti-reflective glass. So if you've used stuff like Voodoo Glass or Stern HD Glass or the Invisiglass, it's awesome, and it makes your game look like it doesn't have any glass on it at all. But it's also quite expensive, up to like $350 for a sheet of glass, which is kind of crazy. Which is why I had never gone out of my way to put extra glass in Invisiglass on my other games. I had bought at one point, so any of my JJPs that I had came with Invisiglass. And then at one point, I bought 2 sheets of Voodoo Glass when they were doing a Black Friday sale. I think it was $350 for 2 sheets or something that plus shipping, which wasn't too bad. Maybe it may have even been like $400. But I wanted anti-reflective glass for streaming, so I was like, I'll give this a shot. And I didn't want to keep moving glass around all the time on my JJP. So the Voodoo was good. I was a big fan, but one sheet of that is, I think, like $250. And so Pin Glass Plus came out, and Jerry was kind enough to send Nick and I both a sheet of it, as part of their shipping tests and for us to kind of give our hot takes and our reviews on it. Once Nick has his out and on his game, he can talk about his more. But I put mine on my P3. It's important to note that this will work on any standard pinball machine. So even though Multimorphic is making it, it's not a thing that only works on the P3, because that was one of the things I think Jay Fairbrother commented about. It was like, oh, it would be nice if they made glass for all the games. But yeah, no, it works on any game. This is a little video I did of it that I put on YouTube. It's obviously, videos are hard to tell how great it looks in person, but it is really good. So this is okay. There are very few times when you can just say, like, based on merits alone, this is not a subjective thing, that this is the best invisible AR glass you could buy. So it's got the lowest price. It's like $150. It's got the beveled rounded edges, which are super nice. And yeah, it's a win-win. So if, it looks just as good as the Voodoo glass and the Invisiglass I have. So performs up to the standards of all the others. Price is lower, and it's even better because it's got the beveled edges. So if you're looking for anti-reflective glass, no question, this is the one to get. Grab yourself Pin Glass. Objectively, it's my objective review of Pin Glass. I mean, if you want to waste money, go ahead and throw your money away on a different name. But Pin Glass, you might as well just get this. It works great. And you can, like I'm showing on the video here, they've got glass cleaner and the microfiber cloths, which you can get. But it'll work with any anti-reflective glass cleaner, like Spray Away or Sparkle, or you can just use, Nick, I know you like water and alcohol, right, to clean your Invisiglass.
Yeah, well, you can. I think that came from Jersey Jack's recommendation. Water and alcohol is just what you need, like 50-50.
Yeah, you just want to avoid anything with ammonia in it, because that'll take the that'll take the finish off. And don't use
just
paper towels.
Just buy Sparkle and make it easy too.
Yeah.
But if you need something in a pinch,
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, 150 was the early pricing, but it's still 179 is still almost $100 cheaper than any other sheet of glass. So still cheapest option. Still has the better edges, and still performs just as well as the other sheets of glass. So grab yourself. I like it so much that they sent me the review copy, the review sheet of glass, and then I went out and I bought 2 more sheets for my other standard pinball machines that I liked it because I liked it so much.
You rascal, you.
Yeah. So the only game that doesn't have anti-reflective glass on it in my room now is Alien, which will soon have it because they announced they're going to do wide body soon too. They said if they got enough requests, they would do wide body, and they're going to do wide body. So I'm going to be all anti-reflective glass, baby. High quality pinball over at the Manning household. You know what I mean?
Proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, let's do some game room. That's the news. We got through the news. Whew. All right. Deep breath. Stretch it out. Let's do some game room updates. Nick, you get to kick it off.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, this is a change of pace. Here we go. All right, game room update for myself. Like I said, I bought a Wick LE. We're actually going to review John Wick. We didn't say that in the top of the hour, but this is going to be a super long show. So if you got to do a bathroom break, make sure you time it right as well. Get some food. Put your feet up.
Grab yourself something to drink.
So got a Wick LE. Super pumped. That makes it now. I own a Wick LE and half a Wick Pro. Who's the asshole, Kevin, who told me back in May on a YouTube comment?
Hang on, I'll find it.
Can we bring that up?
Yeah.
You want to call me a shill and a liar?
Okay, it is so 10 months ago. So on the show where we talked about when John Wick was revealed almost a year ago, at John Smith 78098 said, "Guaranteed neither buy a Wick. Ha ha ha. Ugh, too shilly more. Artwork looks great." And then he and Nick proceeded to get into this back and forth battle in the comments.
Yeah.
And Nick's like,
I tried to talk to him like a normal person.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, no, I legit want. And he's like, he's so not doubling down. So, Kevin, if this is like you trolling me to get me to buy a Wick, brilliant. All right. But I don't think that it is. So don't ever call me a liar. Call me a shill. That's more than any game I own right now. So I
will guarantee you that was not me, because I do not have the energy or initiative or drive to do that level of trolling. I do not care that
much. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, you really showed him.
I showed him. I got a game that I absolutely love. So.
Yeah. All right. So you got Wick Ellie. Talk about you got another game too, though, right?
I got another game. I got actually 2 games. I bought a game yesterday unexpectedly. Okay, so let's go to the game I got last week. I bought a Bally Speakeasy because again, the club has this kind of private club, but also kind of speakeasy vibe, Art Deco style to it. So I thought that'd be perfect. And plus, Speakeasy is a pretty cool add-a-ball game. You don't see it a lot, so I snagged that. I did have a kind of a disappoint. It's largely my fault. So I bought it off a guy on Pinside. I've been looking for one for a while. It popped up. It looked really nice, like from the pictures. Although the pictures were a little blurry and not great, but it looked really, really nice from what I saw. Guy said it worked 100%. So I sent our friend Rob out there, and he grabbed it. And he's like, "Oh, He's like, "Oh, I think you got a screaming deal. Like this is super nice." I get it, and the head is down on it, and I see like a little bit of the lower playfield. Instantly, my eye noticed that some of the inserts were replaced. There's 2 inserts replaced, and it honestly looks like I would say kindergartner did it. I showed our friend John Barsh it, and he goes, "What did a 2-year-old do that?" And he's right. Like,
yeah, I saw pictures. It's bad.
It looks like It is the worst insert repair I have ever seen. It is god awful. I didn't notice in the pictures because pictures weren't great. I went back and looked at it. I was like, "Oh, now I see it." But it's so strikingly bad. I see it in my dreams, Kevin.
I wish we had pictures that we could show, but we'll have to put them on like the Facebook group or something so people can see how bad this is.
It haunts me. I might be able to send it as you're talking later, and you can throw it up there. It is terrible. So I need help fixing it because the rest of the game is pretty good. But man, and like let me just say, when I say 2-year-olds, I don't mean to insult 2-year-olds because maybe the particularly bright ones could do a better job than this. This is like a 2-year-old who, like, their parents are like, we probably don't even want to talk about potty training until he's 4 years old, right? That's that kind of 2-year-old, okay? that did the repair work. It also, by the way, the guy said it works 100%. That's not true. The flyaway targets are not working right.
Lies.
There's a chip plastic on it, and it's missing a gate on it for the left flipper gate. It's missing that gate. This is a key piece of it, so this is not working 100%. That is impossible to find. So I'm going to crowdsource this. I need help. The part is like ASE 2250-91. I know, rolls right off the tongue.
Yep.
I have it like memorized. This part was also in Fathom. So like I cannot find it. They do not make it anywhere. I need help. The game does not play properly. Please, if somebody can help me find that gate, or if you have a solution, I'm all ears. And give me like a solution that I could do, or find somebody who can help me and just make it easy for me. Somebody is really kind, and they're gonna help me with a plastic that's chipped. So more to come on that. Other than that, the game is in great condition, but I really got fucked over by this guy. Again, I should have asked for better pictures, but it's not working 100%. So buyer beware. What are you gonna do? And then the other game I got, I did not know this when I woke up yesterday. I did not intend to buy a pinball machine. But we've got friends down at Allentown, and again, our buddy Rob, he was in a text chat with me and Matt Taylor, and he's like, "Oh, there's this old Chicago I might get. Like, it looks really good." And I've been wanting Old Chicago for months as well. I talked to Martha every few weeks. I was like, the ladies on the back glass, they look really nice. It fits the theme. It's a cool EM. It's Goran's favorite game, so like one of his favorite games. So I've got to own it. I want to make Goran happy.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, so Rob activated me. He's like, oh, if you don't buy it, I will. The guy wanted $950 for it, and playfield's pretty damn good. The cabinet's beat, but playfield's pretty good. And then I was like, all right, you can have it. So I ended up buying it. So that's at the club now. Got delivered last night. And Rob knows what he's doing. He really, I think ultimately he maybe thought, sure, that'd be nice in my house, but if I post this, Nick will buy it, and mission accomplished. And I paid him money to haul it up to Buffalo, so he's crushing it.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I don't want to think about how much money I've spent with him in the last few months.
But think about how many machines you have not had to move yourself. Also.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know. All right, no more talking about him because he needs to be a sponsor. No more talking
Rob,
about him. Come on, I love you, but come on. Come on, I can make you some real money here. All right, let's move. What else?
Okay.
I got anything else? Oh, I sold Jaws. See ya, Jaws.
Oh yeah.
Do not miss you. Baby game of the year. Baby game of the year. I loved that game. When I bought it, I loved it. I even messaged Keith. I was like, great games, super cool. And then the honeymoon was so quick. So quick. I know a lot of people love it, but I do not miss it. So there we go.
See you, Jaws. All right. Couple updates in my game room. The big one over the past month was that I hosted Pinball League, so I had to get my game room in order for that. Games held up solid. A couple stuck balls. That was about it. So it's always a relief when you get through league night without any major malfunctions or gameplay issues. Also, of course, the chicken wing dip and the deviled eggs were always a hit as always. Apologies to anybody who may have missed out, but you knew what you were missing out on. What else? I sold Royal Rumble, so I had picked that up over the winter as a project. Got it all fixed up, and then a local friend, actually the guy who I got my alien from, Dave, was like, "Hey," he saw me stream it, and he's like, "If you want to sell it, let me know." I said, "Yeah, I just want to hold on to it until after League, because it's kind of my go-to thing to have a weird game that most people don't see at League when I host." So I was like, I'm gonna keep Royal Rumble for that. It played great throughout that, and then I hauled it up there over the weekend to Dave's house. So thanks, Dave, for the easy sale. Did not even have to post it on the internet and have to deal with dummies online, which is always a win in my book. And then on the way back, we stopped at Jeff's house to pick up his firepower that my son is working on, trying to get. He's trying to resolve. There's an issue where it will just reboot itself every once in a while. So he's got the oscilloscope out that he got for Christmas. He's diving deep into that. He's trying to figure that out, and he loves a good project. So hopefully he can get that going.
Oh, your game's gonna colonoscopy.
It is. It is. He's way up in there. You know what I mean? Was that it? Yeah, that was pretty much it. Is a couple video games. Been playing the Indiana Jones game a little bit more here and there, but other than that's about it for Game Room Updates.
All right, let's move on. What's next?
This is the moment everybody's been waiting for. It's back, baby. Mods you don't need. We don't have we don't have an intro song yet, but we do have some amazing mods you don't need. I was telling Nick before the show, the best part of this is I'll just like throw things on the document and then forget about them until the show. And then I was like, oh, what were these? And I opened it, I was like, this is some pretty good ones. We had a really good mods you don't need the last time. So this is almost as good. All right. So I'm going to start off. We're going to peak early on this one, because this one is definitely the winner of this batch.
Oh, don't. Oh, you started at the high moment.
You know how we love a good cover for your pinball machine, right? Like, you got to cover up your pinball glass with a cover.
Absolutely. I mean, dust will wreak havoc on a pinball machine. We all know this, folks.
Dust cover on your pinball machine. But then where do you put your dust cover when you're playing your pinball machine? Well, obviously you need a pin cover caddy to mount on the leg of the machine to hold the cover while you play. So, like I always said, give a man a 3D printer and he will find numerous ways to come up with dumb shit like this. It's the pin cover. Oh my God, look at this, dude. It's so dumb. Roll it up.
Try to get through it, Kevin. Try to get through one of these without saying it's so dumb before we even talk about it.
I think my favorite part is that he imprinted patent pending on the side of it, as if somebody was going to steal this idea and make millions of dollars off of his pin caddy.
You never know in this
pin cover caddy
hobby. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. So then the comments were good. They were like, "Well, when do you get the cover for your cover when it's in the pin cover caddy? Who's going to make that? And then you got to get a caddy for your cover for the caddy." It's like a never-ending cycle, really. Everything needs to be protected from the dust.
It really does.
Okay,
yeah.
So
that's
your pin cover caddy.
And it's nice that he's featuring it on Halloween, because that is a game I would definitely cover in shame if I had it in my collection.
And it's a good look at the armor coating that's wearing away there, because they did such a great
look at
job.
that wear.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
I think this guy's got bigger problems than getting the dust off his machine, to be honest.
Yeah. Amazing. All right, so there's your pin cover caddy. So $25 plus shipping, by the way, if you want to buy one of those.
Super reasonable.
Yeah.
And then how much is the cover?
Oh, I don't know.
Like $50?
You have to buy that yourself. That's
probably close to $100 to get that nasty dust off your machine.
Yeah. Pin cover caddy, everybody. All right, here's number 2. Because when people think Gorgar from the 80s, the Williams pinball machine from the 80s, they're like, obviously I need a $500 topper for this, $1,000 game. So here's a Gorgar Williams digital video topper. And here, let's just take a look at what it does. That's what it does. That's all that it does. It's for those listening along at home. It is a video screen with a pile of skulls and flames. And that's it.
Is there any pile of skulls and flames in Gorgar? I guess maybe. It doesn't even fit. Like, first of all, who in their right mind looked at Gorgar and said, yeah, this is good, but it needs a topper? Like, that's what's holding me back. But also, like, if you're crazy enough to do a topper for Gorgar, which is, the market has not been clamoring for this, well, it should have the art style. Like, this is incongruent with the game. It looks like shit.
Yeah, it looks nothing like the art on the game.
This is like AI bullshit that you did. Oh my god! All right, this is terrible. This is insulting. It's what, $500?
Yeah, $500.
How many, dude?
Plus
sir,
$45 shipping.
How many of these have you sold? If you sell one, do you just do it for the lulz and you like almost out of stock? It says, is that true? Like, he's got that checked?
Well,
yeah, because the stock is one. He made one. He thinks maybe one person's gonna buy this nonsense.
You have to drive the FOMO, bro. Almost out of stock. Hurry up and buy it. No reviews yet, so I guess we'll never know. That's
okay.
Okay, so there's that. This one's kind of
you're stealing Gordon's thunder talking about toppers.
I know. We don't have a topper talk, so I have to kind of fill in today. So this one's kind of adorable if you were ever playing Dungeons and Dragons pinball and you're like, oh, I wish he had a little hand.
Oh, it's cute.
You can give him a little hand.
Oh,
look at him.
Yeah, look at him.
Why is the hand coming out of a mountain? That does not make any sense at all.
Well, he punched the mountain, Kevin. Like, he punched right through it.
He did.
Wait, it moves? Oh, look at that.
Watch this. Whee!
Oh, look at the little plastic printed underneath. He waves at you. Oh, look at him. Look at that little limp wrist action.
I like the close up. Here it comes.
Oh, so scary. Oh, I'm so scary.
He's waving bye. Bye.
Oh my god. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. And then here's an old favorite. Everybody's like,
Hey everybody, it's Donnie
we got
Parker.
Some kid talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, everybody seems to come up with this idea, and then they realize that nobody wants it, and they don't actually sell it.
Someone's gonna buy it though.
Here it is. You ready? It's the flipper lock.
What?
It's the idea that those guys in Canada had. Remember, you put the magnet.
Pause your balls.
Pause your balls. This is pause your balls all over again.
Get out of here.
This is it.
Get out of here, Kevin.
It's a magnetic pinball tool to lock the flipper, cradle the ball, snap on a flipper lock, and effectively pause your game and burn out your coils. It's the flipper lock. Yeah, get yourself one. I think.
Oh my god.
Oh, here we can see it in action. Here it goes. Oh,
whoa!
Game is
boom.
paused. Oh, look at that! It's paused.
Well, you know what though? It is funny that he's showing this on a Godzilla because that game goes on so long. You could probably eat lunch and dinner, and you could probably if you're me, you probably gotta go to the bathroom like 10 times. So I don't know. Maybe it should just come with Godzilla
and a stroke switch tester. Yeah, I wonder. Oh, I think my favorite part of this is I was on their Instagram. I forget who sent me this. And I was like, oh, let me check out their website. So I went to their website, and they're like, oh, look, just go to our Instagram.
Oh, it's like a treasure hunt.
It's you just go, you're on Instagram, and it sends you to their website, which sends you back to Instagram. That's good. That's good. Good stuff. And is that
It's
where?
something.
It looks like it's like worn out underneath there. Hopefully the flipper lock is not wearing out your side art. We would hate to have that happen. Anyways, there you go.
Yeah.
Mods you don't need. There you go. It came back. Thanks everybody. We'll see. We might do it again next month. Keep sending them in. I appreciate everybody who sends in the terrible mods. Some of them they're like, you should feature this one, and I'm like, we already did that one, bro. You're behind on your mods you don't need. But keep sending them in. We'll keep featuring them. And with that, I think it's review time. Let's introduce it proper.
Let's go.
I am okay. Whose life is a bore? The least I've gotten waiting for. Are you ready for your eye exam?
It's John Wick from Stern Pinball in 2024. It's a game designed by Elliot Eisman. Elliot's first game. Software was by Tim Sexton, who isn't there anymore, so we'll talk about that more coming up. Artwork by Randy Martinez and sound by Bob Baffy. Pricing when it was launched was $7,000 for the Pro, $9,700 for the Premium, $13,000 for the LE. Now, according to Pinside, it's more like $6,000, $8,000, and $10,000, but it's actually probably even a little lower than that, based on especially what Nick just paid for his LE. But I'm going to let Nick kind of drive the bus on this. I'll give my initial kind of overall thoughts and jump in as we go, but he's put a lot more time into this than I have. I played it at the club a bunch. It's kind of like my one of my go-to games there because it's like a fast kick your butt kind of game, so it kind of keeps me coming back with the one more game sort of feeling. I like the overall look of it. I think the Randy Martinez art is really good. The like cityscape green glow vibes to it are cool. Like I'm a fan of that. And yeah, I think just like the layout and shots are cool. I don't have a complete understanding of the rules, but you know, I think it's fun enough for playing on location. I can't really speak to overall how it holds up in the home, but Nick, I'll kind of let you dive deeper into things from there.
Yeah, okay, we'll start with the rules. So and I can talk about the Pro and Premium because I'm experienced with both. Number one, I think the rules are actually good. I think that there's a lot of chatter in the owner's thread and they're, as the rules developed or not developed, you know, in terms of getting updates, there's different levels of satisfaction, dissatisfaction with this game. I mean, let's just cut to the chase. The game is missing too many wizard modes that should be in there. It's missing wizard mode, and it does need more code polish for sure. I mean, right now there's a number of what do you call it, villains or bosses? I forget what they call it in there. At best, I maybe gotten to 2 of them in a game, in a particularly good game, so it's hard to progress in there. The way the game is set up, you've got to kill enemies to unlock those. And you know, people have speculated, well, they probably made it difficult because there's no mini wizard mode or wizard mode, so that's why they're trying to artificially slow you down. And then also, I mean, look, Tim Sexton is gone. He is the lead rule designer. He left within the last month, so is anybody driving the bus right now on this? Right? Like, I liken to this game in terms of the rules, and I'll talk about the good in a second, but it's like they got the plane in the air, but first of all, there's no pilot right now. It's just like in cruise control, and I'm wondering, are they going to land it or is it going to crash, right? Like, they need somebody to bring this game home and land it. So here's the good. I like it's good but not intuitive. I had to go to Tilt forums just to really understand what the hell is going on in this game. It doesn't it's not intuitive. Okay, so one of the main things to understand about this game is each shot has enemies that spawn. They're like the 3 blue dots. If they're blinking, they take like 1 hit to clear. If they're solid, they take 2 hits to clear. But you can't, let's say there's like an arrow that's lit to hit for like a mode or jackpot. You cannot collect that shot for the mode or jackpot until you clear the enemies. So if there's enemies on that shot, they're blocking the shot. You got to hit the shot to clear the enemies. Then you can hit the shot again to actually score the jackpot or mode shot. I really like that. It's something different. It's not been in any game before. The enemies spawn randomly. You know, when they were doing the reveal stream, there was this bunch of bullshit about AI and there's 4K video. I mean, it's too bad. These guys need to learn how to sell better. Like, they just did marketing bullshit, and I hate that. Marketing shouldn't be bullshit, right? Like, sales shouldn't be bullshit, but these guys leaned on that. It's just whatever. It's just random. Stop saying this shit. But it does spawn randomly, and it keeps the game varied. And with the way this game is super fast, it's like the fastest game that I can think of. So it really keeps your head on a swivel of saying, okay, this shot's blocked with enemies, that shot's not. Like it gets your heart racing, and I love that. And as I was talking about, Godzilla and Kong earlier, and just in general discussion about a way games these days seem to stop the ball too much or make you watch video clips, like no, this game like never stops the ball. It is very, very rare that the ball stops. And when it stops it's quickly back into the action. So I love this game because it gets your heart pounding. It keeps my ADD on track of just being super focused on what's going on. And it's a difficult game. It is not a baby game. So we're in this era now where all these games have to be super deep and super long playing, and like this and that, and like this is such a welcome relief for people who do not want that. This harkens back to me to like the days of like Tron and Iron Man and Avatar and Big Buck Hunter, where games were not, and Metallica, where they're not these like long playing fests. They're just like hit the shot and there's some basic modes and whatnot. But I love that era, and this reminds me of it. Like, this game is so difficult, it throws you like an extra ball within like the first few moments of the game. It's just an ass kicker. So again, I think what Tim and his team did with Josh Henderson and the enemies is good. It's thinking outside the box, but like, I get somebody who doesn't understand it or is confused by it. You got to go to Tilt forums. You really, when you start a mode, which is the crate shot, you've got to really read what to do. Sometimes it's just like it's basically hit the lit shot. But you don't want to skip that. It's really quick because it might help you understand a little bit better. What is also really confusing is that there's like these factions in the game, and there might be like a mission like escort the VIP, but it could be a different faction that gets paired with that mission. And I'm so confused on this, but like, I think there's shots in the game that would change what faction is actually paired with a mission. So like, a mission is not faction specific. So if you're confused, that's okay, because it's not coded in there in terms of what matters, what the faction is. I'm like 99% sure. Like, it's something that they intended to do or might do, but it's not in there. So this is the scary part. They have ideas for this game. I think there's good ideas, but it's either half-baked or not fleshed out, right? This is very concerning. So what makes it confusing is that you think, oh, I'm in the orange mode where the arrows are orange, right? And when I'm in the orange mode, I need to do this. No. That's just the orange faction. You might be in a mode that's escort the VIP where if it's another faction, it's white. So it's, again, not intuitive. I'm only starting to learn the game because I've played it a ton, and I've had to go to Tilt forums and really kind of sink in what's going there. And at the same time, it's not complicated. That's the funny thing. It's not a complicated game. It's just not intuitive. There's other things in there like car multi-ball. There's like 3 different car multi-balls, or 4. But like one of them I think is like when it starts as a hurry up to hit the car. There's no hurry up countdown in the score, I believe, in the screen, so you don't know it's a hurry up. Only after you hit it, it shows what the hurry up value is. So like, just stupid shit like that. It needs work, guys. This game's been out for a year now. What the hell is going on? George Scoma is on the screen. George, at the end of the day, this is your fault. Like, what's going on? You guys are cranking out so many games that are incomplete with the rules. You got to get the rules done on your games. These games are plummeting in value. This game, when it came out a year ago, was $13,000 when Ellie is dropped in value by $4,000. That is terrible. Also, you guys made 1,000 of these? Are you kidding me? All right. I'm going to slow down. I love this game, by the way. I fucking love this game. It is so fun and addicting to shoot. So fun. I recommend it to people who like the games. If you've been following this channel enough, you know what I like, you know what games I like, and it resonates with you, and like, yeah, I like the games Nick likes. Like, this might be the game for you. All right. There's also, what makes also confusing is there's different rules on the LE versus Premium on how you start the car multi-ball. I think, and also like the Winston lock multi-ball. So it's probably a good idea that there's different rules because the games are different, but that can also throw you off a little bit if you don't know any better. It can also add to the confusion. I think a minor thing is that they have a really cool lights out mode where when the button's flashing, you hit the button, and if you've seen John Wick, you understand what that is. all the lights go out except for the GI in the game, so you don't know what shots are lit or what shot has enemies, and you're playing blind. It's cool. It's thematic. They do need to change one thing, in my opinion, because there's actually a cash out scoop for the villains, which is like crank it up. So the villains, Kevin, are like crank it up. Okay. Like you score as many points, you hit a couple shots to get out of there, and then you can cash out or keep on going. I like that.
That's
very
cool.
good stuff.
Yep.
Copy that. Good job. You can cheese it because when you get in the scoop, you can hit lights out, which will automatically give 2x, and then you can pick if you want to cash out or keep going. So they should make it so you have to shut the lights off, and then you have to hit the shot.
Correct.
That's the most minor nitpick in this game that has missing modes and stuff,
Yeah.
and incomplete rules. Okay, that's it for rules for me.
Okay. Yeah. This is sort of rules, sort of like lights and display, but why does it has the smallest insert for the multi-ball start? It's like I had it lit and it didn't even realize it was lit until somebody pointed out, like, no, that's where you start multi-ball on the far left over there, because it's got this tiny little dinky little arrow. It's like usually when multi-ball is ready, it's like the game lets you know. This game does not let you know. Yeah. So that's a nitpick, but it's like Dungeons and Dragons is kind of the same way. It took me a while, the one on the right orbit, to start the dragon multi-ball. It's so small. Like, make a big deal out of it. It's not that hard.
Oh, by the way, that's really weird on the Pro. Like, you would think to do car multi-ball, you just wail on the car, right? And then, okay, so starting it, you got to hit it's ready to go, you got to hit the spinner. Fine. But what's really weird on the Pro, like, you can't just wail on the car. You've got to hit that left spinner first, and then you can start wailing on the car to make progress towards that multi-ball. Which is really bizarre and non-intuitive. I don't know why they do that. On the Premium and LE, you just start wailing on the car, and it takes less hits to the car, and then you hit the left shot to start it. So again, like, super confusing and non-intuitive.
Okay,
like, weird.
Yes. All right,
I'm
let's
not
talk
saying change it, but just weird.
Yeah.
Not intuitive.
Yeah. Let's talk about the art.
Go ahead, Kev.
I'll pull some pictures. It's a beautiful game. I think. I'm a big fan of Randy Martinez and what he did with the Star Wars comic edition. I think that game was really good.
Too.
And Mando, yeah. It's a nice, like you said, it's not a lot of times when you see like pictures of modern Stern lineups, they all look very similar because they're all Zombie Yeti art, like you've said. It's just like, yeah, he does cool stuff, and like not every one of your games needs to look exactly the same. It's a nice, cool hand drawn look, but not in the same style as Zombie Yeti, which I appreciate. It's a little less intense from like a overwhelming like amount of art on the playfield perspective, and also this is the LE cabinet that we're looking at right now. I like these got like the stained glass look to it. Looks kind of sort of elegant, I guess. Like lots
it's
of
got like gold flakes in it too.
Yeah.
It's like layered. It's really well done.
Yeah, it's really neat.
The LE is foil
cool.
cabinet artwork. It's just stunning overall. But I think Randy Martinez might be my favorite artist these days. Certainly working at Stern, he crushed it. I mean, just everything about the art I absolutely love. The color choice is just perfect in my opinion for this. Just so good. It's a beautiful, beautiful machine in my opinion.
Yeah, nothing negative to say here as far as I'm concerned. The sound, I have played it, but nothing really stood out as far as the sound, good or bad. It's kind of like middle of the road as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. You've had at home experience playing it. What are your thoughts?
So I mean, the sound they got for the call outs, Ian, what is it? I can't think of his last name right now, but
Not sure.
One of the main characters from John Wick does a absolute bang up job of call outs. The soundtrack is phenomenal on this. Really well done. I'm not sure which is like if there's any stock ones from the movie, because the movie had good soundtrack, and which one's also custom. I'll have to look into that, but well done. And sound effects are pretty good. You've got a lot of gunshots that play into it. So the only criticism or commentary really negatives on the sound is one, during the boss fights, it goes into like the movie clip scene when you're fighting the boss, which is cool, but the sound level seems inconsistent with the rest of the game. Like some of the dialogue gets buried in there, so I think it needs to be tweaked. It's a little weird and bothered me. However, on the LE, I just installed the Pinwoofer system the other day, and after tweaking in some of the settings, changing the attenuation through the settings and also through Pinwoofer, it sounds phenomenal. Like, it is amazing how terrible not only do the Stern Pro speakers sound, which I guess you can take that with a grain of salt, but even the LE, the quote-unquote upgraded Ken ones that they put in it, are just total garbage. Either get the Pinwoofer or get just custom kickers that you can do for much cheaper and put them in the back box. It just brings the game to life. There is so much better sound and music in these Stern games than you're getting from the stock speakers. I think that is a no-brainer upgrade. If you absolutely love the game and you're going to keep it for a long time, Pinwoofer's recommendation. If you like the game, then at least get the kickers, which are like $80. You got to buy some parts from Pinball Life and change like for like a Pro and stuff. But just do that. Do that right now before you do any other mods. Those are the mods that matter.
Mods you do need. Yeah, every time I play Godzilla, I got the kickers in there. I'm like, man, this sounds so good. It's such what that plus I have an external subwoofer hooked up to it. That's like a really good combo if you're not trying to put a bunch of money into speakers and stuff.
But yeah, it's a banging soundtrack, good gunshots. You don't no lack of that in the game when you kill enemies. And then I guess I'll talk about it here because this is more like we don't have a section for it between like sound, display, and lighting. But this might have some of the best shaker motor incorporation in any Stern game I've played. Like when you kill enemies, you hear like kind of like the gunshots and taking them out, and it just like thumps perfectly, almost like a silencer. Like I don't know, it's just and when the movies are playing and there's action happening, there's gunshots, it's choreographed to that. Like it is very, very well done. I gotta say, in terms of like the coding, that team, that's like they must have spent a lot of time on just the lights, the sound, the presentation, because it's very well done.
Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't played the LE yet. I've only played the Pro, so I haven't. And the Pro at the club doesn't have a shaker motor in there, so
I should convince Matt. We should convince Matt to buy a shaker for that game. Yeah, it needs it. Maybe I'll just bring my Kenwoods in there for it. But the Kenwoods are garbage. Who am I kidding? But yeah, that game with the expression lighting and all the stuff you put in, you can make that game really sing.
Yeah, it's a cool looking visual presentation on that game for sure. What about toys? We were watching a little video earlier. It's got some cool toys. It's got the car that goes boop and stuff. It's
Yeah, so on the Pro, really the only toy, which is fine. This is typical of a Pro. It gets a pretty decent toy. Like the car actually boops it back, kind of like a kicker. So you hit the car length then pushes back against the ball, so you get some nice action off of it. That's the main toy on the Pro. On the Premium LE, the car doesn't boop, but it swings out, which, all things considered, if I had to pick one or the other, I'd rather have it swing out than boop because it helps indicate what's going on in the game better. And it's also cool how, as Kevin's showing on the screen, where it locks it for the start of multi-ball. So the functionality is really cool. I like the car. You also have the crate that you have to bash and it flies open to start a mode. Again, I like that. I think it's fun. It gets the ball slightly out of control, but not crazy. It's very manageable. But it also helps indicate what's going on in the game. I don't like how the Pro, where you can kind of just hit the scoop again. It just kind of takes you out of the game a little bit. So I think the crate is maybe the best toy on it just for functionality. It's got the blood oath marker, which is whatever. I mean, the LE that I bought, it was broken. So I think Stern shipped out a replacement for it today. So I'm looking forward to getting that fixed. And then the Premium LE also has the actual ball lock, which I was worried about slowing down the game, but it doesn't. Again, this game moves along very quickly. And it has the stand-up target for the dance club area, which is nice, protecting that area. So to me, I think, like, look, the Pro's fun. I own half of a Pro. It's at the club. Pro's good for like tournaments, moving things along even faster in an already fast game. At $5,500, $5,000 for a Pro, this is such a great game to pick up. It's so cheap. If you really like this game, right, you're a John Wick fan, you kind of have this level of love and appreciation for it like I do, then treat yourself to the LE or Premium. My God, I mean, getting like an LE now for $9,000, it's cheaper. Again, this game is a year old. It's cheaper than When it's
The
cheaper than a new in-box premium, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's
That's
crazy.
insane.
It's funny.
This is one of the best deals in pinball right now.
Yeah. Nick was like, "Are you thinking about getting any of these new games?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't like feel motivated to buy anything new. At least just wait and let somebody else take the hit on the new inbox game, and I'll get it used.
Yeah.
I don't mind buying used."
Dude, totally. Okay. All right, we got the toys covered.
Always. Display and lighting. I feel like we've kind of talked about this along the way, but that's one of the highlights of this game. I feel like it's the overall presentation from a lighting and display point of view, right?
So good. So on talk about the LE. We got to talk about the expression lighting, right? So I'm glad this game has expression lighting. Tim and whoever else is coding with him continues to do a great job with the expression lighting, and there's also like the speaker lighting, which goes along with all that. It's very visually impressive, which kind of helps with this game become a world under glass when you're playing it and adding to that kind of like heart racing moment. So just very, very, very well done. Very, very, very well done. I will say this kind of goes to sound, but it's so stupid, Kevin. So they have like Stern does these like inserts on the speaker.
Oh,
and like it's like a dog on the LE, and Kong has you're blocking the fucking tweeter, bro.
Yeah, don't do that.
Like, don't block the tweeter. Like,
Dude, yeah.
Who cares about that shit?
I think it's on Evil Dead. It's like almost completely covered. It's like,
yeah. You guys understand how
destroying
speakers
the
work?
sound. It needs to move the air out and the sound waves out. Don't block them.
Oh God. So yeah, but yeah, phenomenal. Great lighting. More expression lighting on games.
Yes, agreed. Gameplay.
This is where the game shines for me, folks. This is why I fell in love with it. When I remember watching videos, I'm like, I like Wick, looks fast, and man, I was so hungry for a fast, brutal game. This game is super fast. I mean, everybody has to turn down the flippers. I got mine at 225. I wanted to run them at the highest setting because it's so fun when the balls are flying around. But you will get air balls galore during multi-ball. It's insane. It is just such a fast, smooth game. I mean, Elliot crushed it, and you know, people talk about another fan layout. I get it. I've said the same thing myself about fan layouts in general, but this is maybe the quintessential fan layout for me. It's funny too because if you look at some of the shots, kind of thin, especially that center ramp and the right ramp, and yet it's findable and feels like butter and super satisfying. I can just shoot this game hours on end and not get bored of it. It is so fun to shoot. I like that you also have a more challenging shot like to the boss scoop on the far left. It's nice to have a shot that you got to kind of do trap up and think about and hit it. So it's good that it's got that. It's got several bash targets with the car, the Continental Hotel, and then the crate. So you've got things to bash on there. So this is a game where you are feeling like you're John Wick, where you're kind of just doing these zoom fast movements, the combos, and then also things are coming back at you with things to bash. I love that dance club area where you kind of hit it back there. It's reminiscent of the kiss and getting the ball in there. You're getting a ball locked in there and then hitting a ball when it's locked in there and having it jump around and hit the switches. I fucking love this playfield. This is why this game has gotten me hooked. To me, this is the best Stern that came out last year and one of the best Sterns that's come out in a long time in just gameplay and shootability.
Yeah, like I said, at the club, this is the one I always come back to on the Stern row because it's fast and fun and it kicks your butt. So you wanna have that one more game kind of gameplay. Yeah. It does a great job, and I think it's like you said, it's nice to have. You know, we've talked about this in the past where it's like not every game has to be slow or long playing and easy and forgiving. You know, make some tough games too. Balance things out a little bit in your lineup.
Yeah, and it's like, look, you've got these other games that came out like X-Men, and it's got all these kind of complicated, like look what I could do with this shot, look what I could do in that shot, and it's cool, right? And you've got these longer playing cool Keith games where everything's in the back, and that's fine. They all have their place. Like my collection is varied and it has a wide assortment of games. It is just so fun and refreshing to play this game, and I like games where you get your heart pounding. Does every game need to be like this? No, but you also don't want every game how Stern has been leaning towards these like complex shots and super long playing. This is a breath of fresh air, so it'd be kind of cool if if Elliot wants to define himself as this, like, I'm going to make fast, brutal games, like, please, there is a market for that. Let's get more of it. He's only being held back, in my opinion, by, unfortunately, people latched onto the gun thing, which is a non-issue now. And then just really the code is letting this game down, as is plaguing other games as well. But like, get the code to where it needs to be, get this game complete, and start selling this game. There's people will go out and buy new in-box games and drive the value of it up. Like, it's terrible. No, people look at this game and they see the price plummeting, and maybe they don't understand or play it much, but like, it is so good. I'm total champion for the game. Super happy I got it. I mean, it benefited me. I got a Pro for $5,500. All right, like, after like 5 months being out, and a LE for $9,000. Like, great. If you guys are listening to this, spend some time on it, because grab it while you can. I'm not saying, I mean, look, the way the market is, this game could plummet to 8 for all we know. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm not optimistic Stern's got a code update coming for anytime soon. They sure as hell better finish this game. That'll be a travesty to the team. And it's amazing, Ken, when you think about how much time they put into this. They got somebody to do the guy from Anthrax to do a custom soundtrack. They brag about getting like the Blood Oath marker from the movie and replicating it perfectly. There's 40 minutes of footage. They did all this nice integration with the shaker motor, and then you don't finish the game.
It's unbelievable, dude.
It is disrespectful for everybody who bought the game and the entire team that spent so much creativity in making it, not to fucking finish it. Hire people to finish these games. Stop cranking out. Somebody speculated that, and I dismissed it quickly, maybe Stern should only do 2 games a year. And I was like, like, we want 3 games. But I'm like, no, maybe they're right, because it's like, no, you're not going to finish. You're not going to have dessert until you finish your meal. Like, finish your games. Like, Neil, are you listening to me, my friend Neil? Neil was giving me shit months ago because we were complaining about code, and he's like, what about isn't this game? Yeah, they're all bad, Neil. All these companies are bad. Again, Godfather, 2 years, no code. Like, I think you'd agree with me. But in the comments, you'll agree with me. A fucking year and this game's not done. A year of Jaws, that game's not done. No wizard mode. They get the stupid secondary mode on Jaws, like, and you can't finish the game. What is wrong with them? This is insane. Well, you're paying the price, Stern. You're paying the price because people aren't like reluctant to buy these games new when they know they can get a discount. Dealers have got to be like frustrated by this. Go hire some coders.
What's funny too is I feel like Stern has people are most apologists for Stern because they used to be terrible. The whole like where's the code movement started because they were not updating their games, and then for a while they were releasing games with really bad code and then eventually finishing them. So they earned this reputation, and now I feel like they're regressing back to where they were. Is that a result of where the pinball market is right now? I don't know, but really there's no excuse, because in the long run it disadvantages them because people are less likely to get in early on a game if they don't think you're going to finish their game, right?
Yeah, well, like Borg Dog says that Stern doesn't care. I agree, they don't care. I fucking hate when Stern's like gets mad when we say they don't care. You guys don't care. There's some level you care about a lot of things, but there's no care in the code. There isn't, because there's what's stopping you from bringing people in to do code, and demanding as a company that you're gonna finish the games, you're gonna iron the bugs, and you're gonna get it right. Right? What is stopping you? This is bullshit. He said, look, they don't care because games are sold. People keep buying new ones. Yeah, I think that there's a lag, right? Like, during the COVID times where people are just buying, like. Yeah. Like, they couldn't get games out fast enough. I think they're paying the price now, right? Like, you eventually will pay the price. And as we see these games in general sitting unsold, games plummeting in price, you're paying for that, right? Like, you are turning people off because they're going to wait for 2 things. They know the price is going to drop, and then they know the games are not coming out with complete code, so they're going to take a wait and see attitude. And nobody wants to get a game that's going to take 2 years or maybe never get coded. Stern quote unquote eventually makes it right, and maybe, but not on all games. Not Wheel of Fortune. They didn't make it right on that game, did they? Right? And that's like 1 a game, like 2 games. But like, look, guys, there's no guarantees in life, right? There's no guarantee. Their main coder is gone. Tim is gone, which that kind of baffles me I don't know what's going on. All right, like, I wish Tim would finish this game because I like the game, and I think he's got something special here. I hope he's well, but it doesn't bode well when that's your baby, your game. It's like you're making a board game and you just leave halfway before it's complete. Like,
Yeah.
what the
Figure out the
fuck,
rest of it
man?
yourself. Exactly.
Yeah, that is scary. Come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And RLM made the point in chat, made the point that, well, the distros are the customers to Stern, but yeah, they're sitting on all this unsold inventory now because, the economy is shit, and also people's buying confidence is down. So it's like so they should be the ones pushing back to Stern saying, hey, can you update this game? Because we want to move these games, we want to sell some games.
ultimately, who do you blame? It's the buck stops somewhere. I don't blame Tim or any other coder working on any game. I blame leadership at Stern. Who's ever leading ultimately makes these decisions and allows it to happen. They're not prioritizing it. They're not stopping and saying, we're going to do this. We're going to finish it. We're going to do what we need to do. So I worry about this game going back to the rules. Like, who are they going to put on the rules? When are they going to put it on? Is this person going to come in and totally change it and make it a baby game where it's got to feed out a million extra balls to get through it? Right? Like, it's scary because the person who had the original vision is gone. And maybe Tim couldn't land the plane. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe he started off and couldn't figure out how to finish it. I don't know. But ultimately, I don't blame Tim. I blame Stern for not figuring this out and allowing this practice to continue.
Yep. Well, and that gets into our next category, the lastability, right? Do you feel like this game, as it stands now, has lastability because it is missing so much?
Lastability is always a question. I've liked this game I've played it. I think I played it first in maybe July. It was the first time I played it. I've played it. I've got it at the club. I played a lot. I played this game a lot, and I'm just as excited for it when I kind of saw it and first played it. So I love this game. I'm addicted to this game. I think in many ways it has passed my lastability test based on that. I don't know. I mean, I look at the owner's store and a lot of people, and I see a lot of games getting sold. I don't know. I don't know. It's just damn fun to shoot, and what's there is fun to play. And right now, it's a game where you play to chase score rather than to complete the game. So, time will tell, Kevin.
All right. So we had a question in chat, which I think will serve to reinforce your point. How many games has Stern not completed recently? So why don't we just run through the list? Dungeons and Dragons? Nope.
Yep.
That's their most recent game, so I'll give them a. They got
Kong it's not complete.
Well,
so
Kong, not complete.
There's such a low bar, Kevin.
Yeah.
I think a game here's crazy. I think when a game comes out, it should be done, except for minor code things or somebody wants to add bonus stuff that nobody expects.
Right,
fine.
polish, that's fine. It should be feature complete though.
Correct. There should be inserts that fucking don't work on the game because it's not in there yet.
Metallica
Sorry,
Remastered.
Wow, cursing is out there.
I mean, it was a complete game to begin with, and they're adding more stuff to it. So
make it more of a baby game.
More of a baby game. Uncanny X-Men, not even close.
Yep.
Godzilla, it's a Keith Elwin game, so yes, they put the code into that. John Wick, no. What else?
Jaws, no.
Jaws, no.
They got 4 people on that coding team, and it's not done.
Yep.
They added a bonus mode, not done. Come on, guys.
Elvira, Lyman got that one done. And no, they had somebody else finish that game, right?
But that's also not we're going in a weird order, though, right? Because it's popping up weird.
That's the Blood Red Kiss version. So I'm just going backwards through the number of releases. Jurassic Park, I think we can count that one.
Is Venom done? I don't know.
I don't know. You can get to the wizard mode, I know, but I don't know if there's other stuff in there that was promised but not. Oh, you can filter Stern games. Oh yeah, here we go. Stern Pinball. Okay, yeah, this is better. Let's see. Foo Fighters, I think
it's done. I think it's done.
James Bond.
I think they're still adding to it, but I think now you can close the books on. I mean, it only took over 2 years, 2.5 years, but here we go.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the one. That's what everybody always points to. Oh, look what they did with 007. Oh yeah, you got to have a asset spending.
So it's like a 2-year thing that they're on.
Yeah. Is Rush done? I feel like Rush is probably done.
Rush is done.
Yeah. Godzilla we talked about. Mando
is bugged. There's bugs in that game that actually make it, if you encounter the bug, it's basically you can't progress in the game. So there's that.
Nice.
That was done.
Zep is done.
Yeah, so I think we're
It's
good
like
now.
a
it started
50
with Bond, I would say.
During the pandemic they were putting more time into the games, I felt like. But yeah, so about half of the modern releases in the past 2 or 3 years still have stuff to come. So there you go. There's a little diversion, but a little run through to kind of back up what we've been talking about.
All right.
Quality.
I got a broken blood oath marker. I was not the first owner, so I don't know what to make of that. I think the quality has been good in general. I've got a weird problem, so this is to any other Wick owners out there. I put brand new balls in my game. My game, when I bought it, had 800 plays on it, by the way. And I put brand new balls in it, and I put maybe 30-some games on there. And when I had to take the balls out because I was doing some work on the game, and they were all like nicked up, like scratches in a way they're kind of deep that I would expect to, on any other game I own, maybe see one ball with one scratch after like 200 games. So something is chewing the balls up on my game. I don't know if that's unique to just mine or if there's something in these games that are messing the balls up. But it's very concerning because that will destroy a playfield. So I've been on a hunt to try. I cannot just ever enjoy myself, Calvin. I've been on a hunt to try to figure out what's going on that. So if anybody can help me out, I'd appreciate it. I didn't see any other posts in the owner's thread. I don't know if they're checking it like I do, but it's really weird. No chipping or pooling, Chris the Pinterm.
That's good. Good to know. And the joy factor, last but not least.
The joy factor is a 9 out of 10 for me. Maybe even be a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this game. It is, despite the issues that I cited with the code, I love it so much. I'm really happy that they actually made like an adult themed game, which is John Wick, where he's killing people left and right. Maybe I'm just really starving for it, and I do like John Wick overall. But I love the game. Puts a smile on my face. It gets my heart racing, which is what I want in pinball. And yeah, I own 1.5 of it, so there you go.
You like it enough, you bought more than one ish. All right, so let's get down to it. What's our scoring going to be? Should we run through the through the scoring right now? It's our rating system is 0 to 2 burn it, 3 to 5 expensive nightlight, 6 to 8 solid game, 9 to 10 get your wallets out. Where do you put this one?
Well, I'm gonna have to extract a heavy penalty on this game and give it a 7 because it's missing 3 serious modes and needs some polish and things fixed on it. So that's maybe the 7's really generous, all things considered. But if that stuff was in the game, then I would have to imagine, if it's done to satisfaction, then I would probably give it a 9.5. Might even be a 10 for me if that shit gets complete. We'll see.
Yeah,
but
that's
right
a
now,
big if.
right now, for somebody who loves this game and owns 1.5, it's a 7 because Stern can't get their shit together.
Yeah, like I said at the start, I don't have as much time on this. The theme doesn't resonate with me as much as it does with you, but I appreciate the game, that it's a fast kick your butt kind of game. Looks good. The kind of overall vibe is cool. I would put it at more of a 6 because it's like I said, the theme is not as attractive to me. It is concerning that it's missing so much. I do not have confidence that they're going to finish this game. So I'm going to rate it a 6. But it fits in that window. I thought about putting it like a 5.5 and kind of, copping out, not really putting it in any category. But that's where we'll put it. Mark it down. Those are our scores. So, all right, we did it. 2 hours. Boom. Podcast. What more do you guys want? Who are you writing to?
I'm good. All right. It's long. I only did 1 bathroom break. I'm gonna get some food. I'm probably gonna go to the club later. So if anybody's listening to this, by the way, if you listen to us, if you're in Buffalo, hit me up. I'll give you a tour of the club if you haven't seen it yet. I'd love to get you out there. We have almost 40 games now. We're really close to that. It's pretty damn impressive.
There she is.
We'll have to do a video of the club. I'm going to, how we do game room tours, Kev?
Yeah.
I think it's ready now.
Nice.
Ready.
It's pretty. You said how many games are there now?
Almost 40, maybe 37 or 38.
Nice. And there's a spring break there now. What more do you want?
Spring break.
Spring break hype.
You seen that movie, Cap?
I don't think I have. I
Go
have.
do yourself a favor and go watch Spring Break.
80s movie, I presume.
No.
No,
It's
recent.
not like 10 years ago.
Okay.
James Franco.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something else.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget you can go to the buffalopinball.com website to buy some merch. You follow us on our social media. Here's a shout out I meant to mention earlier. If you're looking to buy yourself a Portal or a different P3 game and you want to get in on the $1,000 off, send an email to buffalopinball@gmail.com and I'll make the referral for you. It'll get you $1,000 off your P3. It'll also give me a little credit for the store too. So it's a win-win. Shout out to Multimorphic and the crew over there for doing a great job and running that promo that everybody benefits from. Talkpinball@gmail.com if you want to send us some feedback. Somebody asked if we were going to talk about pin glass last month, so that's part of the reason why I snuck her back in there now that we have some experience with the glass. And then subscribe on Twitch if you want to support the channel. I know I saw a few of you in chat did today. Thank you very much for that. Bits and subs, or you can drop a PayPal donation at buffalopinball@gmail.com as well. You can also go ahead and give us a 5-star review on your favorite pinball podcast platform. And we appreciate all the support. It helps other people find the show and get these hot takes in the future. So, Nick, any parting words for the folks at home?
No, I'm just looking at the chat. Is this true? John Shepard is moving to Buffalo on June 21st. There you go, dude. Never a better time. We built the club just for you. Come on by. Hit me up when you come out here. I'll take you there.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time, and go play some pinball or something, All right.